So let's answer this thought of that people get, which is, why do other people get what they want and I don't? And this happens when you don't fully understand the concept of Allah's like timeline, why he does what he does, and knowing who Allah is. And when we first have to start off with, there is nothing in this world that can move without the permission of Allah. There is no amount of like chanting and manifesting and dancing and or whatever that's put out there that will get your result faster than what Allah has written for you. Now, let me answer this from two perspectives, right? The the part where the cognitive, what is in our control, and the part where Allah's timeline is not our business, but we also need to be aware of it. So if I have a goal that I want to open up a business and I want it to be a successful business, like let's say a restaurant, and I am doing whatever it takes to get there. Now, if I had the mindset that I don't know if it's written for me, or like this is too hard, I can't do it, it's like other people get it and I don't, and I don't think I'm capable of doing it, what happens is you feel either incapable or inadequate, and you don't take the necessary actions to make some like to actually open up a business, learn the skills you need to like have a successful business. Okay. Now, is the outcome, there's a difference between the results, that you focusing on the result, versus the outcome that actually happens. You could have the right mindset and do all the actions that it takes to get there and still not get the outcome that you're looking for. And that is where, in our faith, in our aqidah, is where we submit to Allah knows what is best for me, and we have to work on reframing why you're getting that circumstance or outcome. Because if you don't, your brain is going to get stuck in, well, if this happened for me, then I would have been happier, and like kind of trailing into, well, why isn't it why is it happening for others and not me? Maybe something's wrong with me, maybe. And then you start blaming yourself for things that are just not, it's not making sense. Like this, you're completely missing the point. We are put in this world to be tested. We are put in this world to think and act in a way, in the correct kind of attitude, which is when you believe that you have a goal, and it's a beautiful goal, right? Like marriage, like I want to get married. I want to get married. And you're working towards that. Like, okay, what does it take to get there? Okay. I've been told, maybe I've been doing the wrong approach for the past couple of years. Maybe there's a different way to approach it. And if you change your mindset, you start acting different, you start showing up as yourself, and maybe it's easier for people to see you. And, that's how relationships work. And you start working on the skills of communication, rejection, all of this stuff contributes to the skill of being in a healthy relationship. And whether or not your person comes or doesn't come, that's not our business. We are focusing on the journey. If as soon as you focus on the outcome, we have missed the point. We have missed the point. And this is why I want to really drill this in everyone's head, and including myself. I have to remind myself always with my own goals, right? Which is, I have to only focus on the journey. And if the outcome doesn't happen exactly the way I want it, I'm going to trust myself to reframe it in a way that I know Allah is doing this for me, never against me. Allah never does things against me. He does it for the sake of my evolvement, for my growth, because He loves me, because Allah tests who He loves. And when you're in that mindset, it feels so much easier and lighter to go about life and to feel more fulfilled, because your mission is not, why am I not getting what I want? And it's so important to make sure you're coming from the mindset of nothing can move without Allah's permission. And He doesn't need your actions to make something happen, which is why some people do get the things they want without even doing anything, right? But also, when when you make dua and you trust that Allah is going to give it to you, you start acting different. You start acting in a way that's more aligned with being the Muslim and that you want to be. And because, you know, Allah sees that what you're, whatever, right? Whatever Allah's reasons are, it will happen. But we can't depend on that. We can only focus on the journey. And so when you see things, one thing that I see, for example, when I see manifestation videos coming from Muslims, if you're not having the correct aqidah, the correct of like nothing can happen without Allah's permission. Again, no amount of tricks and stuff will make it work. However, that's kind of it's going to end up it's not the best because now your brain is focusing on the method rather than the power of God. However, the reason why it does manifestation helps a lot of people when they, you know, even if they do it the wrong and it's the wrong aqidah and everything, the reason why it works is because people are changing the way they think. And when you change the way you think, you change the way you feel, you change the way you act, everything's different. And so then you start acting in a way where, okay, maybe it is possible for me to open up a restaurant. Let me figure out what it takes. Let me act on it. You're not stuck in, oh, maybe it's not meant for me. It's God doesn't want me to have it and all of that. That's why it's so important to shift out of that into something that serves you, that feels more aligned with who you want to be, which is when I say more aligned, like, okay, Allah doesn't want me to be miserable the whole time. Allah doesn't want me to depend my fulfillment on me not having the person, not having a spouse. And so let's get very clear on that, right? This is why I'm spending most of my time in the beginning of these videos, like the past 10 videos at least. I want to make sure we're drilling in the mindset of how we're supposed to approach this stuff. Because when you're filling your cup with the correct way of approaching things, and I say correct, I mean like something that serves you, like Allah, I'm happy with whatever Allah gives me. I'm submitting. I'm full complete rida with whatever Allah gives me. Now what can I do to make things happen? And I know Allah loves me and He'll only give me what's best for me. And you start acting in that way. And you start finding fulfillment in the true source of fulfillment, which is Allah. And so that's something that I really want you to reflect on. And you can ask me questions on this. I'll maybe answer in the next video. I keep saying next video and I keep forgetting like I keep saying like a topic for the next video, but I'm saying I have a lot of topics to talk about, but I just have to put this out there so I can make sure people are coming at it from a good perspective, because otherwise it'll feel really you'll feel really frustrated and upset with yourself when you're thinking like what I'm doing is not working, and so therefore this is why I don't have a spouse. And like there is some truth to it when it comes to if you your actions and the way you're thinking, but also Allah gives you what He wills, and that is the foundation of all of this. And for more on like if is it written for me, is it not written for me, please see that video where I talk about how to know if it's written for you. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.